nursing, but other courses too. It looks like job losses, it looks like pay freezes, and it looks like an almost permanent voluntary severance scheme. It looks like a threat of compulsory redundancies. It looks like ripping the hearts out of our colleges and universities. And this has been most recently exemplified by 200 staff and multiples of courses being put at risk at Cardiff. UCU members that staff in education go above and beyond all the time for their students, for their patients, for the communities that they serve. And they do this on a shoestring, they do this with cuts to funding, and they do this in the midst of a workload crisis. And let's be really clear, the status quo is failing every single one of us. The Welsh Government, the people who work in this building behind us, they cannot afford to ignore this crisis any longer. A crisis that developed on their watch. We need investment and we need it now. And that's why we're here, isn't it? Yeah! We need to put an end to the cycle of uncertainty, of crisis, of failures and industrial action. We need them to fund our sectors properly, and we need them to stabilise further education just as much as we need higher education stabilising too. Yeah. We need investment in our colleges. We need our educators to have time to develop education properly. We don't work in factories, and we need genuine time to undertake professional development. It's one thing to teach, it's quite another to be a teacher. Our staff deserve this, our students deserve this.
Mae'r cyhoeddiadau diweddar ar draws Cymru yn dod i'r amlwg pa mor fregus yw ein system addysg ni. Mae'n hen bryd i ni weld llywodraeth ar ddau ben yr M4 yn siarad o'i gilydd, yn gweithio o'i gilydd ac yn gweithredu er mwyn system addysg cyfiawn, hygyrch a theg. We have seen years of cuts, closures and empty commitments to sustaining the education system, but to what avail? We have universities struggling to keep the lights on, students struggling to live in adequate housing, learners unable to travel to their lectures because of a lack of transport, or where there is an odd bus, they can't afford the cost of a ticket. This is happening right now in 2025. And what comes next? What's our future? How will this willful destruction today secure the foundations of tomorrow? We must stand together, united against this vandalism. There is and there must be another way.
Hi, I'm Candice and I'm a third-year student nurse at Cardiff. I'm here representing a group called Save Nursing, a grassroots campaign of almost 300 student nurses across Wales. We are saddened and enraged at the proposed closure of our school. This is an attack on lecturers, this is an attack on students, it's an attack on education, and it's an attack on an already neglected and crumbling NHS. The NHS in Wales currently has 772 unfilled nursing posts. The real need is likely much higher, as wards have been chronically understaffed for years now. Nursing cohorts can be as large as 300 students, and the prospect of losing these is truly terrifying. Up as a group in 2023 to fight for better bursaries. We have been saying for quite some time now that nursing was not a viable option for working class students, and more needed to be done to make nursing a financially viable option. Whilst the university have serious questions to answer here, so do the Welsh Government, who have echoed the exec's excuses over the last week. This is not good enough. Nursing is funded by the Welsh Government and they are responsible for the supply of staff into the health service. They must intervene. We have to remember that these are political decisions. It does not have to be this way. Oxfam reported that last year, billionaires in the UK increased their wealth by £35 million a day. And it needs to be changed. So yes, we need to fight these proposed cuts and stand in solidarity with all affected students and lecturers. We must go further to demand an end to poverty wages for student nurses and a substantial increase in our bursaries to make nursing a viable option and to defend the future of the NHS and healthcare in Wales. If you want a functioning NHS, this fight is yours. Please attend our protest at Heath Park on Friday at 12 p.m. to stand with us in solidarity. Thank you.
That this was a bad idea from the start, and it's still a really bad idea, right? The Welsh government has power over this. It can do something over this, and it should be something over this. So we need to fight together, students, staff, everyone, and we should get our vice chancellors to fight with us, but they took coward to do that, for the new funding model for the universities, and that's what we need.
We as a community tend to underestimate the importance of universities to the economy, culture and vibrancy of an area. If we look at successful and affluent parts of the world, including in Britain, the universities play a major role in the economy. Princeton in the USA, Heidelberg in Germany, Kyoto in Japan, Cambridge in England. Universities provide the young skilled graduates who drive our economy forward. They provide the doctors and nurses and allied health professionals who keep us well. Universities are major employers who pay above the median wage in an area, thus putting much needed money into the economy. They add to the cultural life of an area. Universities bring lots of young people to an area, which will only benefit the area.
Potentially hundreds of people. It may only be a consultation, but the intentions are particularly clear. And I very much support the call being made by the Wales TUC that there should be an emergency meeting of that Social Partnership Council. Cardiff is either part and parcel of that, or it is not. We're going to have a detailed debate tomorrow in the Senedd. And we know that there's a crisis of higher education across the whole of the UK. But 14 years of austerity, and we now have to actually rectify and actually put higher education into the place where it actually belongs. But I just want to quote one thing. I had a message from someone in the university who wants to remain nameless, and I'll just read this because I think this summarises one of the key issues. And this is what the person said. This centralised technocratic shambles has been driven by bureaucrats at the centre. It is certainly not co-created, as the Vice-Chancellor claims. It puts all power into the university's 3 central colleges, and it undermines the head of schools, who I would suggest are closer to the challenges of teaching and recruitment. That to me actually sums up part of the crisis of what is happening in Cardiff, but it is a much broader issue, and I believe it's one that's going to apply not relevant across the whole of Wales, but equally across the whole of the UK, that we need to actually develop a progressive and appropriate funding formula for all of higher education. Look forward to the debate tomorrow. Diolch yn fawr.
At the brink, and when a crisis occurs, governments have to step up to the plate. I'm afraid this Welsh government behind me has failed to do that. Now, Plaid Cymru is here to show solidarity with each and every one of you who are here today and the thousands who can't be here. Mae'n hanes ni, mae hanes addysg yng Nghymru yn rhan o'n DNA ni fel pobl. Oedd Owain Glyndŵr 500 mlynedd yn ôl yn sôn am bwysigrwydd yn prifysgolion ni. Ceiniogr Werin na sefydlu prifysgolion ym Mangor ac Aberystwyth ac yn Abertawe. Education, higher education is in our DNA. The pennies of our forefathers built the universities in Bangor, Aberystwyth, in Cardiff and in Swansea. We cannot allow that legacy to be forgotten. By Cardiff University is an application of responsibility. They waved a white flag in the face of redundancies, in the face of cuts to courses. And can you imagine a government that puts the NHS at the forefront of its priorities, a failing NHS, allowing cuts to nursing in Cardiff University? We are short of 2,000 Wales, and they're cutting the nursing school in Cardiff. We cannot allow that dereliction of duty to continue. So we need to create a strategy to protect jobs and to put university sector on a sustainable financial footing. We cannot allow our university sector to wither on the vine. We owe it to our forefathers to put the university sector back on a sound financial footing.
That there is a lack of focus on the strain that is being put and has been put on the higher education workforce over recent years. And here we are. This is where it's getting really, really acute. And the week before we heard that devastating announcement about those 400 academic jobs and that the University and College Union had written to every one of us who represent universities in this place to raise with them, to urge them to raise the funding crisis in Welsh universities and to ask what Welsh Government were going to be doing about it. I reminded the Minister that the higher education workforce has been facing severe conditions for years. We've been with you there on the picket lines. Oh, that's off your microphone. Llywyd is telling me, can't hear me. And it's a result of inaction to support and safeguard the vital contribution our universities make and that our workforce makes through those universities to our communities, our society and our economy. And I have repeatedly asked since being elected what is going to be done about that, because we've had year after year of voluntary severance schemes which strip departments of expertise and experience, pay freezes which cause hardship and crippling demoralisation, and now the hammer blow of the threat of compulsory redundancy, all of which, of course, as we have heard, is impacting our students, our global reputation, and our very ability to analyse and understand who we are, what we are, and how we can progress as a nation.
Glir, mae addysg yn Nghymru ar ffal ac rydyn ni'n gyfran cyllid llwyddiannol.
University down the road, University of South Wales, who alongside Cardiff University has announced sweeping cuts. We've lost almost 10% of We've lost almost 10% of our workforce. We've lost almost 10% of our workforce as well. It's already saying in Swansea, it's saying Aberystwyth, in Bangor, in Trinity. It's across Wales. It's endemic. Where is the money? We need the money. We need the same jobs. Not just in Cardiff, but across the entire sector. If we want a cradle-to-grave education approach, we need to act now, not hide behind institutional autonomy. Where's the money? Show us the money. Thank you.